Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Matt. Thank you very much. Speed Hut, thank you for hosting us here this evening. And then the riders that are going to do the Roof of Africa, good luck. We've really put a good effort together. What happened with the roof in the past is in the past. We're going to move forward now and do it, make it better. We've moved away from Matsieng back to the Ramabanta area, which in my opinion is a better riding area at the moment for the Roof of Africa. The time trial, I think, well, let me just give an overview quickly. I don't know if you guys can all see the screen. Basically, are you close enough? Basically, what we're doing is from Maseru, you go out on the A5 towards Roma, and you're on the A5 towards Roma, towards Nyakazuba. Guys that have done the Roof of Africa before will know exactly where that is. Music Box is about 5 kilometers from Nyakazuba and about 9 kilometers through the town of Roma. And that is basically where the finish of the time trial is going to be, and the start of Friday morning, and the start of Saturday morning, and the finish for all 3 days. So basically, we've moved back to that area, which is we've moved away from the Bushman's area, just to give that spot a bit of a break. So that is basically the area that we are going to be tracking the routes through. The iron time trial, the tar road that you turn off to Korokoro, it's called Hamafoka. Now, that's not a swear word. It's about 40 minutes drive out of Maseru, and that's where the time trial is going to start. The time trial for iron, silver, and bronze is all at the same place, and you start there and head out towards Music Box. It's about, the iron is 28 kilometers. It's going to take you I'll take the iron guys maybe an hour and a half. Maybe the Foster guys will get through there quicker. And they're all going to be finishing at Music Box. Then on the Friday morning, the iron guys, the start is at Music Box, and you're heading out towards Ramabanta. How many iron competitors are here? Am I going too fast for you guys? Alrighty, you're going to be starting at Music Box and heading out towards Ramabanta. And then there's going to be a small loop up a Booms for iron. It's basically 5 kilometers up a Booms, just to get a taste of it. And you're going to be sent straight down there and back to the service point at Ramabanta. And then you're going to be heading back to Music Box, which is close to Nyakazuba, if you're familiar with the area. Day 3. Right, on this third day, on the Saturday, the start is again at Music Box for iron, and you're heading out towards the pass called Pressure Cooker. If you guys are familiar with that area, you're going to head out towards Pressure Cooker and do that loop towards London Bridge and head back to Music Box. From there, we've got a whole bunch of brand new sections that you guys are going to be doing down into the forest and around all the way past Hamachi and back to Music Box. And your second loop there is going to be 21 kilometers. I judge the iron guys are going to maybe be out there for 5 to 6 hours that day. So it's going to be entertaining. The bronze route.
Hold on a second, guys. Before we move forward, any questions for the guys in iron? Because we are kind of flying through the night here. So for the iron riders, and these are questions based on the route, please put your hand up and I will come down. You can introduce yourself and then we can have a question to Graham Mack and his team. Any iron riders, put your hand up and I'll come and chat to you. You guys are so shy. All right, we'll fly through then. We'll go straight into bronze.
All right, well, the iron guys are definitely nervous already. The bronze, the start is at the same place as what the iron is. It's on the Mahamafoka Road, which is about 40 minutes drive out of Maseru. And then you also head out towards Music Box. Now the bronze time trial is a little bit longer. There's 1 or 2 more technical sections, obviously, but it's an awesome, awesome ride. You come down the base of Pavantanyani, which takes you down to music box. The bronze time trial, I did it in about an hour and 10 minutes. So I'm sure the top boys will take 15 minutes off my time. Well, the challenge is on. Let's have a look what they do. Then the next day, the start is at music box, and it follows the route to Ramabanta, and there's a soccer pitch just outside of Ramabanta where the service point is. Then the interesting thing for the bronze guys on the second day is I decided to get the roof back to the old days. Everybody's going up Baboons Pass. Now, they built a couple of years ago, they built a school on Baboons Pass, and it was an easy ride, but you guys are in for a surprise. It is, it's in your face, and it has changed. So I think the bronze guys are going to enjoy that. When you get to the top of Baboons at the Tar Road, there's going to be a decontrol for about 8 minutes that you decontrol down back towards Ramabanta, and then you recontrol back into the track and head back to Ramabanta for the service point. So you're going to be at the service point twice on the Friday at Ramabanta, and then from there you are heading back past Hatladi. It's an old classic section for the Roof of Africa. It's not too hard, but it's an awesome ride all the way back to Music Box. Next one. Day 3, you start at Music Box again, and you're going to be heading up Pressure Cooker and all along the top of the escarpment. Now, that's the same track that they used a couple of years ago, and it actually heads towards Bushman's. It veers off, and there's a section that comes down the mountain to London Bridge, which is an awesome ride. And then there's a new section that we found that is awesome. It's a beautiful ride, and you end up for that loop. It's 44 kilometers back to the first stage, back to Music Box, back to the service point. So on the Saturday, your crew don't have to move away from Music Box. They will be at Music Box for the whole day. The second loop, which is 40 kilometers, is also a new section that we found, and it's gone up the section. We call it back of the up the tits. So there's if you've been to Lesotho, you will obviously spot them, and it's at the back of the tits, up the tits, and back down to a section which is called Zuma's Revenge, back to the finish, which is a 40-kilometer loop. So you can see the approximate time for that will be about 2 hours and 20 minutes. So the full day is going to be close to 5 hours or 6 hours riding for the top bronze guys.
At Roof of Africa, we always know that the biggest gate, the biggest entry is historically and always been the bronze. So presumably there's a lot of bronze faces that we're looking out into. Bronze guys, put your hands up. Any questions for Graham and his team? I'm coming out the back here. This is how I stay fit. All right, just give us your name and give us your question.
Yeah.
You put your hand up. Oh, much. They've been drinking too much. All right, any other hands up here? Ask us a sensible question. Yes, sir. Just give us your name and ask Graham the question.
How's it, guys? My name is Yaku. First-time rider. I heard about a lot of changes in terms of the checkpoints, the amount of checkpoints between each. Obviously, you're going to cover that, still might be, but I'm a bit concerned about that. Would you like to elaborate on that, just in terms of what you guys are going to allow for us and how that might work? Because I'm a bit confused as to how it worked previous years and how it would work this year in terms of timing.
What we've got is with race result, the same guys that do the scoring for the Erzberg, and I think they did it for the C2, Torsten, I'm speaking under correction, they did it the C2 Sky as well, eh? The guys from race result, Ricardo is the gentleman's name, and each bike's going to have a little transponder on it that's going to be electronically timed. And then obviously with LoRa, the Lesotho Off-Road Racing Association, we're going to have marshals as well. But it's a good question you have. The idea is not to have a checkpoint at every single road crossing and you crossing 1 million checkpoints. So we're going to be intelligently calculating where to put these points. So you should have a good run because with the time checking, it's an active system. So it will continuously report back to the base camp, so you should be able to know exactly via time where you are. That is the plan of action.
Yeah, my concern with that was the fact that you might have a slow start, or you have a bottleneck, or you have something that's hindering you from getting a bit of momentum. And then because there are so many checkpoints, you kind of burn your fingers because you don't get a good start. And some guys, like myself, take time to warm up and get into the rhythm. And then you kind of pay the price because you've got so many checkpoints. You think that's a problem or not?
Yeah, you got 3 weeks. You better learn to warm up quickly and go faster.
Fair
No,
enough.
I'm just. No, we definitely not. We're going to scale down on the amount of checkpoints because I hear it is a problem if you arrive, especially in the bronze class, if you arrive at a spot and there's a queue for the checkpoint. The active checkpoints, you just drive straight through. So there's not going to be a hold-up.
Cool, thanks.
Thanks, Jaco. Thanks, Graham. Good answers there. Any other questions from our bronze riders? Okay, we'll move forward then into our silver racing loop. If you do have any more follow-up questions, do think about them, and we will review that shortly. So we'll go forward into silver.
The silver time trial also starts at Mafoka. So what's happening is iron and bronze and silver are all starting at the same part, but the tracks differ. So there are some of the sections are similar and some of them are different. The silver has got a whole brand new section on the bottom end. If you see the bottom end of the leg here, that is really an awesome ride for them. And the silver time trial also finishes at Music Box. It's a 38-kilometer time trial, so it's not a very short time trial, but it's going to be, they are definitely going to enjoy it. The time on that is 1 hour and 21 minutes. The guys have ridden it. I'm thinking if it's a clear day and it's not wet, I reckon they're going to bring the time down to maybe 1 hour and 5 minutes at the top boys. So it's going to be, they're going to enjoy that ride. It's an awesome ride for the silver time trial. Day 2 on silver, the first section. Now what's happening is, you guys will see when I get to the gold as well, silver and gold are doing a common route on the first stage of the section, which is that 43-kilometer. Then silver is doing the second stage is the baboons section, which is common to the bronze. Then what happens is silver is when they head home on the third stage, they're doing a common route to the gold again. So that's what I've done with the silver guys. I've mixed them up. One stage is gold, one stage is bronze, and then the other stage is gold again. So the silver boys are going to have a long day. It depends. Well, hopefully it doesn't rain too much for you boys, and then I think you guys will be good. Day 3, then the silver boys are doing the loop out to Tabachita, which is, you're going to be going up a pass called Pressure Cooker. And what happens is on the top of the mountain there, I'm sending the gold boys down Dalton's Drop and back up a staircase to heaven. And you guys are heading around to London Bridge. Now, if you're not familiar with all these places are, I think after the Roof of Africa, you're going to know where they are. What happens then is you do loop 1, which is 43 Ks, and you're going to end up back at Music Box. Then you guys head out on stage 2, and the first half of stage 2, which is 53 Ks, is similar to the gold guys. And once you get to the high, to Tabamele, the gold boys are doing an extra section in there, which I'm turning your silver guys off. But it is going to be quite technical, but it'll be an enjoyable ride. So if you get to that stage, I think you guys are really going to have a good time.
All right, before we go to gold, silver, any questions to our illustrious audience? Anybody? All right, we're going to get Torsten Gibbs up here. Let's give Torsten a round of applause, guys. He's been out there in the mountains with Graham and the team.
Okay, guys, Torsten, when it came to the gold event, thank God I brought the guys that can ride motorcycles to come and help show us where to do the gold events. So, Torsten, there's your...
Yeah, so how's it, guys? Basically, this is the gold time trial. It's roughly 9 Ks. And yeah, it took me roughly 50 minutes to do the 9 Ks. So yeah, it's really tough. You'll see there's like a section on the left hand side there by Matele. You ride on all these like big flat rocks, which is like some really sick riding. And yeah, you guys are really gonna enjoy it. And then just by the finish there by Music Box. There's quite a nice little climb up there, which will be good for the spectators. And yeah, I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy that. So yeah, that's the gold time trial. Then you guys on the second off-road day, you're going to go on your first loop. It's 43 Ks. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the pass called Middle Pass. You'll be going up Middle Pass and then down into the DSP just below the Ramabanta trading post at the soccer field. And then you'll go out on a loop. The track's called the Pied Piper. Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's 62 Ks or something like that. 61 Ks. And yeah, there's going to be a refuel. Basically, at the bottom there where that straight line is, there's actually a bit of a tar road section where there'll be a refuel. And yeah, that loop took me, I think it was 3 hours 15 or something like that. So it's going to be quite a long and technical loop. And then yeah, you've basically got a common track with silver back to the finish at Music Box. So yeah, that's your day 2 for gold. And then day 3 is probably my favorite day. It's a bit of a shorter day in length and time, but it's going to be hard. It's not working. Oh, there we go. So yeah, it's going to be really tough. You're starting off and you go up a pass with silver called Boilers, which will be pretty easy for the gold guys. Then you get onto some really cool like flowing mountains. Like when we were riding there, myself and Mitchell, there was like a whole bunch of wild horses and yeah, it was really cool. You basically ride along like a river with like, yeah, it's like some of the most cool riding I've ever ridden. So it was really fun. And then you drop down a pass called Dalton's Drop. Yeah, and then along the bottom up a pass called Devil's Staircase. So I'm sure some of you guys will know about that. And then yeah, back to the top of the mountain, down to the London bridges, and yeah, they refuel at the bottom of the London bridges, and then you'll go back to the DSP at Music Box, and then your last loop, which is from Music Box, basically go backwards on the time trial, and then there's some nice big steps along there, and then you go basically over this mountain called the Poponyane Mountain, which is, yeah, there's quite a nice little hill going up there, which is a new section, what we found. And then, yeah, it loops around. You go up another new section, kind of near where Middle Pass is. We don't really have a name for it yet, but yeah, that's going to be quite tough for you guys. And then, yeah, you loop around into another new section, down like this really cool flat rock riverbed with some big drops, and then quite a technical like grassy hill coming out of there. And then yeah, you loop around, and then just as you think you're at the finish, there's a little bit of a treat there by the finish, which will be quite tough. So yeah, it's again good for the spectators. So it'll be a good place to watch. So yeah.
Well done, Torst. All right, for the gold riders or any questions for any of the routes? Here we go, hand up. I know your name, but these guys don't. So introduce yourself.
Azad.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Azad Kalinbrowski. The fuel stops. Do our pit crew have to be at the fuel stops and we have to supply our own fuel, or how does it work?
The fuel stops, they are negotiating with the sponsor for the fuel. So we will know within the next 10 days whether you need to take your own fuel or whether we're going to supply the fuel. Right now, the sponsor has not been confirmed. So right now, you've got to take your own fuel, but we will inform you accordingly.
Okay, thank you. And then the other question I have is about round the houses.
Yeah, the round the houses, I'm glad you brought that issue up. I was going to mention it now in a moment or so. What I've done is we've cancelled the round the houses. It just became the traffic and the congestion in this area has just become too much. So we were very disappointed to have to do that, but it is what it is. So what's going to happen now is we're going to have a parade lap on the Wednesday, 2 o'clock. And then on Thursday morning, which is nice, you can get yourself ready and go and do the time trial. So you don't have to do the round the houses. maybe one day in the future we'll be able to have another round the houses, but Maseru has just become too, the risk and the congestion it creates, it was not viable anymore. So which sadly so. A lot of guys are happy about the round the houses that it's gone, but there's also a whole bunch that enjoyed it tremendously. So it is one of those things.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then just to make sure, are you guys gonna announce about all the fuel stops and that in the next couple of days?
Yes, we are. And I'm going to quickly touch on Rufus. I don't know if you've dealt with Rufus yet.
Yeah, I have, but it's also
Rufus.
The gold is starting at 12 at night.
Yeah, but we're sorting Rufus out that he answers intelligent questions with intelligent answers.
All right, so if you guys have heard us talking about Rufus, Rufus is not just an emblem or a mascot. Rufus is our AI who's been telling us stories the whole way through. Have we got a clip of him? Yeah. Rufus is this guy. So it's this donkey. He's got big ears, but he doesn't actually listen. So you can't just send a voice note and think he's going to send you back a sexy message. You have to type it in, okay? And I think he only speaks English as well, by the way. Just, I think I need to confirm that. But this is the AI. We're just trying to get a bit more interactive, trying to get as much information flow. Particularly last year and the year before, we won't dwell on it too much, but information flow was an issue, and the current team are trying to work very positively and move in a positive direction with information flow. So already this year, we've received good feedback that the information flow has been better than in years gone by. But obviously, as we get closer to the event, there will be a few changes, there'll be a few tweaks, and we'll make sure the information flow is going to be on point. So this is just a quick kind of like ask a couple of quick questions to our AI, to Rufus, but obviously the normal communication channels will be open as well. We just identified that with the Telegram group, it just kind of blew up and it was hard to disseminate the correct information through that. So we're just trying to keep it a little bit tighter as far as that goes. Before I say thank you to Graham and his team, are there any more route-related roof questions that you guys would like to get answered? All right, otherwise, Graham's going to, oh, sorry, there's one gentleman down here. Just give us your name and ask G.
My name is Mac. Quick question. So last year I heard, you give your GPS in and then you have to pay a deposit and you get the routes loaded on it. Well, what's that looking like this year in terms of like loading the routes onto your GPS and all that?
We're going to have a team. There is going to be a team on site to be able to load the GPS tracks for you. But we're going to put the GPS tracks up before the event that you should be able to download them and load them onto your GPS yourself.
Straight from the website, obviously.
Yeah, straight. You'll be able to download the files from the website and load the tracks onto your GPS.
Lekker. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, that was just another one of the ones to try and speed up the documentation process. Owen?
Graham, is there going to be a live tracking for family members and fans that they can watch you as you ride through on the routes?
Yes, there's going to be a live tracking. So it's Cyril. I don't know if you're familiar with the name Cyril. He's the gentleman that's been doing it for many events and that. So we've got him in and there's definitely going to be a live tracking. So they will be able to track.
We have tested that system as well. They do the live tracking at the moment at the regional cross-country cars. And that's a very good test for us as well on that system because the cars run, I think, the furthest point from their DSP, which is the designated service park, will be about 100 kilometers. So, and they do race out there in kind of the northwest area. So the signal is terrible out there and they've still had good feedback there. All right, guys, can we get a round of applause for Graham and his team? They're obviously going straight back up in the mountains to carry on.